Hello and welcome back to Higurashi One Day Grind, the second story arc, Watanagashi. One of my New Year's resolutions, since this is 2006, is to try to finish up some of the things I have started, and this was one of them. I wasn't able to because of the holidays and whatnot, but now that I have some free time and free myself from a lot of other projects that are basically had to be uploaded, or just on hold because of other circumstances, I am going to try to finish this. And we're going to continue on. We last left off at Chapter 5. We ended up having to meet Shion Sonozaki thus far, and Keiichi decided to find out, just as some of us have done, that Shion and Mion are not the same people. They are actually twins! Separate identities, man. So how would this fare out for the rest of the story? Well, except for the parts that we're probably going to have to fast forward because it might be the same damn thing, let's see how this varies from the first story arc. Will Keiichi actually make it out without going insane? Who else will go insane? Only one way to find out, and is to try to conclude this second story arc, one video at a time. The next day, it was a strange day when Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Rena was taking care of her the entire time. Mion, she's acting totally strange today, said Satoko. I know the whole story, but it's kind of hard to explain. There are times when girls are emotionally unstable, said Rika. It's best to just leave her alone. So, turning around, I saw Rena calling me from the hallway. I wonder what it could be. Keiichi-kun, over here. What's with it? What's with you calling me over like this? Is this gotta be kept a secret or something? That's... looks like it was a disaster. Yeah. Mi-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again. I'm surprised you managed it. How did you do it? Same way I do with the television. Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and hi-ya! Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Don't you, Rena? She'll be fine by tomorrow. Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun. I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty about this. So, I'm listening. Thank you. You see, Mi-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened. Never happened, huh? I see. Well, that's one way to run from it. So you see, Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too? Then Mi-chan can go back to normal. Just do something as simple as that? Is it really going to be okay? Please, until Mi-chan gets her feelings in order. Just go along with it. Alright. I think I could do that. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I still felt guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day, Shion Sonozaki. But she never once said that she was Mion. What am I supposed to be angry at? Seeing me stomp the ground impatiently, she giggled. But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well that Mi-chan has some cute things about her. Rena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind. Yeah, I know that she'll never let it be boring. Good. Following that curt reply, Rena looked up at the sky and stretched. As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about. Copying Rena, I began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered over the distance. There's no club activities or anything today. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home? It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow. So just for today, okay? If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave her alone for today, it was an easy decision to make. I got you. I can't say it directly to her, so I'll just say it to you. I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize. No, the root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right? If you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy. Alright, I'll try. That day was the shortest day of my life. She was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked a really fun conversation, so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I made a promise not to. It seemed Mion was also trying her best to ignore me, so likewise I did my best to ignore her. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Rena ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika came over and patted me on the head. Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot. I never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something. I'm sure Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult. Pat, pat. Rika is the studious type, so maybe you'll grow up to be an amazing, wonderful adult as well. Of course, when I grow up, I'll be super amazing. Okay, never mind. I made that point already in a previous video. When I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know. No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can bet on that. What did you say? As Satoko snapped her fingers in a wash bin. A wash bin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head! What did you think you're doing, Satoko? It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having extra friends. Well, that was a quickie. Alright, let's get back to school. Today was Saturday. School ended in the blink of an eye. It really felt good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today Rika had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi. How's that going, by the way, Rika? You have it down in practice? I'll try harder than last year. You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony. She'll look far more fit for the role this year. Look forward to the fruits of her training, said Sadako. The Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about. It's tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early for me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it was fitting of an image of a summer festival. You know, it fits it pretty well. I can't English. Okay, we'll be off then. Look forward to tomorrow. Good day to you all. And the two leave, waving us energetically. No, I haven't asked. When is the festival? Where is the festival happening anyway? I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seems suited to host one. They do it at the Furude Shrine. We went there for a walk one day, don't you remember? At the place with the really good view. Oh, right. I remember. There was a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? Far too grand for Hinamizawa. There's a great meeting hall in the shrine too. The older people get there and sing karaoke and practice calligraphy from time to time. I'm having trouble with this. It's more like a recreational facility than a shrine. Huh. I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand.
Mii-chan, is your fairy gonna help set up today?
Yup, we have male hands for that. Most of our relatives came from town to help. Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home, so... Would it be a problem if I squirm my way in there? Huh? You want to help us, Keiichi? Not if it'll bother you. I was just kind of interested. We have bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I have absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it made me feel like this place was a home that I have to return to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival, even the day before, too.
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun. There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
I wouldn't be doing it alone, wouldn't I? I mean, the more hands we'll have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time, her expression was complexed, tinged with hesitation. Rena gave her the last push for me.
It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mii-chan. Put him through the ringer.
Oh, well, I can't argue with a recommendation from Rena. Okay, get home first, put some work clothes on, and come to the shrine. You might want to bring a towel to wipe off some sweat. Alright, I may look scrawny. I can break a sweat underneath this hot sun. Careful that you don't hurt your back, okay? Enough of my old man spiel. I'll go to the shrine too, once I change up.
Mii-chan, you do your best too. Bye-bye.
Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday. Girls are quick to get over things. Mii-chan's already fine. Right. Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easier for me to talk to her.
Kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. Like, you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off.
She giggled in amusement. Does she really like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it kind of got me weird. A weird, hard to describe feeling. So, did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they just do it for me? If you think it's so funny, you should try pretending to be a different Rena too.
Sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Rena would you want to meet?
One with a bust size of at least 90. Right off the bat. Knocker said you're okay with me. I can't do that. She'd be great at cooking. She'll make me lunch, come see me in the mornings.
But I do that already.
I pull her head in a tight grip and start to pet it. You're Rena Ryuga, right? You're Rena, not Rena, so you'll just stay as Rena forever. Got it?
Thanks. Have fun. Help setting up the festival.
You got it. We'll meet up tomorrow. So I got changed right away, and slinging the towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the shrine. At the shrine, there were more people than you would imagine that would live in Hinamizawa, all quartering off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. So, where is Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out on me. This is Mayapara. Interesting. Have you come to help the Watanagashi setup? Oh, hello. Yeah, I was just wondering if there was anything I could help with. How commendable your attitude. Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
Oh, what's this? Is Maibara-chan. Did you come all this way to help us?
I haven't found Mion, but I suppose I'll just get in her way if I ran into her. Yeah, I'm here to help. Just tell me where you need me.
You young ones have all the vitality. Here, grab some work gloves. Ever built a tent before?
Oh, never. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things. Okay, kid, go inside and tie up just the cords from the top. After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them. Butterfly knots are okay, right? And there! All done? Well, standing it up. 1, 2, 3! Was this once nothing more than a collapsed tent, or was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Oh, seeing it put together like this, it's pretty moving. Come on, no time to stare and wonder, we've got a lot more. We packed the tents into the truck, so go get them from there. They're heavy, so take someone with you. I'm good. I may look scrawny, I'm pretty strong. They look light enough, so I thought they were, but they were heavy. That's why I told you to have someone to help. Come on, said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak or these old guys have superhuman strength. Let's go, you're the youngest one here, so we're gonna make you sweat for it. Do your best. Beer after work is the best. But I'm a minor. Oops. Sweat dripped from my body. I've been fully and completely absorbed into helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society would taste this delicious.
You're so young, making sure you drink a lot.
Thanks. It was then I realized the crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men were looking like they were preparing for the ceremony. Rika? Hey Rika! Do your best! I shouted, and it seemed like she heard me. Rika, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The other guys with me watched Rika as well, with distant gazes. Rika-chama is doing a great job. She seems far more used to this than she did last year. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands, and she said,
Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you.
And just like that, I began to respectfully pray to her. Oh, okay. I just remembered that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika's new full name Rika Furude? The man standing next to me answered my question. That's right, Rika-shama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations. I see. I'd always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family. After her father, who was a shrine priest, died the year before the last, she's been really doing her best to learn the rituals. I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderful she's grown to be.
Rika's father passed away?
Okay, break things over. Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya. Maki, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you. Alright, Mayabara, let's get to work on one last job. You're gonna maybe do more work? I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encourage me to do my best, and that the beer will be great. But we really shouldn't be drinking. Keiichi, working hard, I see. Oh, well, speak of the devil, and he may appear, or she. It's Mion. I passed by her, carrying a big cardboard box. She was right in the middle of working as well, and judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, I wasn't the only one with hands full. I'm working my ass off, and you're gonna work hard too. The beer's going to be great. We were working to the bone until the sun began to set, and it started to cool off. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a far bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive and just a while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrusted before me. "Kei-chan, great work. Here's some tea. You're so considerate, thanks me." Her voice sounded the same, but it was different. Oh, no way! It's Shion! Don't go giving Mion all the credit now. She isn't considerate, so don't get us confused, okay? You little... Now that I've caught you, you're not getting away! It was your mistake, Kei-chan. I never said I was anyone else other than myself. I guess I can't argue with that. That's right, you're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either. Anyways, the tea is going to get warm. Come on, cheer up. I'm trying to make it up to you with this. Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. I took the cup and downed it. And then suddenly... I heard a loud shout and got stuck in my throat. Oh look! Which one is it this time? Is it the real Mion? Shion, why are you hanging around with Kei-chan again? Because unlike you, I'm considerate. Kei-chan was sweaty and I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him some tea. By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea? Huh, sister? Mion's face went bright red and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back. Well, there's no way such a rough, timid, good sister of mine would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there? So, what are they? What are those 2 cups of tea, huh? Right, I was just so thirsty I figured I'd drink too. So like you. Come on, chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it. As Shion cheered her, Mion down both the cups of tea, one after the other. What a fabulous drink that was. I was expecting nothing less from you. Kei-chan, give her a hand, will ya? Well, suddenly this situation became unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known her for a while now, but Shion gets a little terrifying. Mion, you can't hold your own against your own sister? I hate her! I hate her even more! Just then I heard a snap of a camera shutter. Ooh, is it? Yay! Good evening, the festival is coming up tomorrow. Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today. Oh look, Tomitake. Good evening, Shion-chan. Quite unusual for you to come here. Ah, Takano-san and Tomitake. Good evening. Been a while, hasn't it? So, you're the transfer student I've been hearing about. Keiichi Mion, is it? You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed. I feel like I've seen this photographer before. Have we met? I'm glad you remembered. We passed many times on the road, Keiichi. I'm Tomitake. I'm a freelance photographer. Tokyo. Then do you recognize me? I sadly don't. She's Mio Takano. Remember when you were at the doctor's office when you had a cold, Keiichi? Mio's the one of the nurses who works there. Call me Takano. I'm pleased to meet you. I wonder if she squeezes over them like in the shrine storeroom. Very thoughtful of you. Tomitake seems to be quite entertained at the Zonosaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture. I've heard about this, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins. They really do look exactly alike.
We're not just alike on the outside, even our underwear matches too.
Well, that's a little TMI. Isn't Shion's, a little...
You idiot! What the heck are you doing?
Things had never been as lively as when the two of them were together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion's Mion, and Shion's a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, someone that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those lard buckets at Angel Mort. If that was the case, cowardly behavior from that day was all a complete act.
They were even more alike when they were little. I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
Really easy to imagine. I totally understand what they must have gone through.
Takano gave me an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
Tomitake, are you going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival? Yep. Thought I would rather just stay here forever. Silly odd old things, that's all.
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
Thanks. Next time I come, I'll bring all the pictures I took of you today.
Maibara, you did a lot of work today. You must be tired from all that labor that you're not used to doing.
Well, I'm tired, but it was pretty fun.
Oh, youth, I'm so jealous.
Takano smiled with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair and gave off an intellectual beauty. Oh, hello everyone. Seems our merry crowd was standing out. This time an overweight elderly man addressed us. And again, someone I thought I knew, if I recall correctly. He was a policeman, wasn't he?
Oh, Oishi. Good evening. Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow.
Yep, something like that. If it isn't Tomitake, certainly been a while.
I'm honored that you remembered my name.
You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you? The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo. You should just move here and get it over with. I know a realtor I can introduce you to.
I appreciate the thought. I'd very much like to follow up on that.
All right, everyone. Have a good year. Happy New Year to the Zonosaki twins, too.
Happy New Year, Detective Oishi. We'll appreciate your work. We'd like to end this festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
Pretty strict on me.
Detective Oishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing quite a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her make an annoying face, as if she was glaring bullets at someone she hated. Yeah, it'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year.
You like this place too, don't you?
Oh, you mean to say that you dislike it, Jiro? I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know. Especially the times being so dry and uninteresting.
The Curse of Oyashiro, you mean?
Curse. Tomitake had to use a troubling word. Then, someone tugged my arm. Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry, so how about we go to the tent with the drinks and get some candy and sweets?
I'm up for that. I've got a little hungry as well.
Let's go.
And a moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomitake that stung my ears and gave me a start.
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year. I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly. Shion, what did she just say?
It felt like the air around us dried out.
Let's go, Keiichi. They're talking about something silly. You still haven't told Keiichi? I made it a point to not spread stories like that.
Her cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were starting to contrast.
Hold on, what are you guys talking about? If you know something, tell me. It doesn't feel right being the one left out, you know?
I don't understand this. Can someone explain this to me? Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant the request. She squeezed my hand in hers for a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let it go.
I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first then. If you don't come soon, there won't be anything left.
I get it. I'll be there. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off. I could tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose. And if it's going to be repeated, we might have to fast forward. But it might be smarter not to ask. And go with her to eat some dessert, will you? Well, you already got my full attention, so I'm not going to leave without asking.
I think Keiichi has the right to hear this. My sister was just stealing that from you.
Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion. So what are you guys talking about? I don't really like people acting self-important. Takano, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there was no objections, she spoke.
Do you believe in curses, Mayabara?
Huh? They were interesting, but not really. I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses.
You're not wrong, Keiichi. Curses are just superstition. It's only natural you wouldn't believe them.
Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe it when you hear us, she said, as she gave a little smile. They are trying to scare me. At least that's what it feels like. Alright, I'll start. Do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project? Yeah, the other day Angel Mord, Shion, or Mion rather, told me all about it. You mean the plan of the giant dam that would have flooded this place? Right. Residents banded together to fight, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded. I heard that too. Yeah, all that other stuff. You know quite a bit about it. You're right. Practically an epic tale how just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans.
Did you hear this from my sister? She likes those kinds of epics, you know.
Yeah, she told me. There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction. It was this shrine.
You know, the assembly hall is where it used to be. Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion.
Takano explained this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I've been carrying things in there all day. I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something, but having an office on shrine grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for, Sengoku period warriors. That was basically the mindset. Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, like a prayer for victory. Oyashiro. Definitely it. They mentioned the curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro? Do you know about Oyashiro? The name of the god worshipped at this place. Said he protects all of Hinamizawa. Well, I don't really know much about him. I think Takano knows more about the rest. So, go for it.
Well, that's generally the whole story. Oyashiro is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the village said he's been protecting this sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world. So essentially, he's a basic standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere to go. Research into whether worshiping Oishi is a manifestation of a kind of elitism too. What I mean is, the worshippers might think of themselves as the chosen ones. Believing yourself chosen. A nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that there are superior clans, so they believe strongly in cooperating, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I wouldn't go too much into detail, but this is sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, the same would go to Japan too. A long time ago, these people strongly believed that they were different from humans. They were above them. They believed interaction with the lower world would sully their souls. So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they'd be sullied and suffer the wrath. Apparently, that kept everyone away.
Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in Kendachi novels. This was once a run-of-the-mill village of xenophobes.
Well, they denied to preserve their pride, but it was all a long time ago after all. Things are different now. She followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Tomitake's words. Tomitake, embarrassed at what he said, ended up scratching his head. So this shrine worships Oyashiro, and thinks that Hinamizawa is the holy ground, and a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world. I get it. That's why they chose the shrine of the guardian spirit as their base of operations. The results of the Solid Dan destruction project that came from the outside.
You got that right. She disliked stupid people.
Superstition, every last bit of it. The villagers gave everything despite desperate to oppose the dam construction, and right in the midst of it, an incident drove home the finishing blow. Oishi-sama's curse. The person managing the construction side of the Hinamizawa Dam turned up murdered 4 years ago, if memory serves. Took the newspapers by storm. Remember? No. He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. Limbs and head were torn off, remains disposed of. One of those dismemberment homicides. They were all the rage at one point. A gruesome incident. It was just that, an incident. A person caused the incident after all. Should I really put it down to the curse? Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents, he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died. It was an accident.
Of course, most of Hinamizawa were hostile towards him. The police were all over the case, as if it were a homicide, but in the end it was judged to have been an accident. So it was an accident. The most cursed-like one, but still far-fetched. And then the next year, the priest of the shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type. The whole village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother. The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and this priest, his attitude worked against him. The villagers at one time hoped for a leader, but the hopes were betrayed. Some were apparently pretty angry. So at the time, all the older people were like, "This is Oyashiro-sama's curse." That's what they said. Didn't seem like every year dam-related... Well, it did seem like every year dam-related people in the village that the village has resentment towards were dying, so it's getting creepy. And also, interesting, all these incidents and accidents always happening the night of the festival.
Wait. Uh-oh.
See? Starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it? The then the year after that, in other words, last year, sister-in-law, the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, beaten to death. Of course, they caught that criminal. See? Really seems like a curse, isn't it? 4 years in a row, and each one of them, incidents and accidents, relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival, worshipping the god. Not normal in my book. The old folks have been blindly accepting the curse because of the incidents these past few years. Even younger people, too. At first they thought it was stupid, but nobody makes fun of it now. I can see where she's coming from. Even me. Even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all these incidents, it makes it, maybe, real? For example, look at the preparations for the festival you were doing. Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but a few years ago, the Watanagashi was never this well attended. Well, I guess you're right. If we didn't have Oyashiro to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to the festival, huh? You're making it sound like he pretty much just decided to give these people a reason to go. Either fucking go or you fucking die. There's a lot of people who said that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to the festival. That's what I pretty much fucking said. And she's nodding it as if she was mocking herself. So, what about it? Keiichi, are you getting the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real? Well, you can't just laugh it off when people related to the dam construction project keep dying like that. I mean, even if I felt like this now, the more superstitious members of the village must be really stronger than that. I mean, I still don't think there is a curse. I can understand that those that believe there is, though. Huh. Wow, you can really keep a cool head. She grinned, realizing I rejected this curse. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what should we make of these incidences? I gave you English. She smiled playfully, posing a riddle. Neither curse nor coincidence. But every year someone dies. What should we make of it? Tomitake, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, he opened his mouth and came to my aid. Takano suggesting it might be the work of real people. Really? Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken back at not having to realize it. Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's only an explanation, wouldn't it? She pressed. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was, a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested that it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking, no way any of it would be a person. But Takano was right. It was either a curse or it could be someone doing it. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, the obvious next step would be to start thinking there were people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Shion. If the culprit is a person, then it had to be someone from this town. That's why the police officer, Oyashiro, thinks. So, that can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Oyashiro's curse existed, that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the dam project business. But if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't, and it obviously didn't, the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. Villagers have worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project, and I knew they have used all sorts of methods to fight it. If one of those methods was maybe, just maybe, people whispered that Oyashiro's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistant movement. She dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa. I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself. If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion. There wouldn't be a motive for anyone, but people who would benefit from opposing the dam project, right? One would say that would be true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict, it would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I just couldn't accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint. Another thing, the police probably don't know about this, but there's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes. The people here know of it. What? She rebucks me to keep my voice down. Sorry, but this proof, what is it? The fact that one person dies and one more disappears. So an extra disappears. So that means someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice? So what do you mean by disappear? They just vanish and you never see them again? You got that right. Sudden and without a trace. As she spoke, she pretended to do a trick with her hands, like she was making the magician's hat disappear. A die of a mystery death? Hang on, I'm sorry, I can't even English, cause Alright, regaining composure. One dies a mysterious death, and another disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit? Well, actually, Hinamizawa has this one really old legend about how people offer sacrifices to Oyashiro to calm his wrath. Sacrifices? They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let him slowly sink down into a bottomless swamp. Takano, though explaining something pretty terrible, had a look of glee on her face as she did it. As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. Even people a long time ago liked symbolism. As the body sunk, Oyashiro's anger would be quelled. Both were submerged into a deep. She was the only one laughing at this. A joke, maybe? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano's. This whole conversation, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of this town. Everyone who's been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows of it, but nobody talks about it. Takano's not from here. She knows quite a lot. She likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that. She learned all about it all by herself. I'm really not all that amazing. Just curious, that's all. Like a child. I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. Tomitake laughed, a little embarrassed. Well, wait a minute. What does it mean the other person disappears or innocence? You're saying they're offered as sacrifice? Shion answers in one word, before anyone else could speak. Someone dies, and someone disappears. Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue. But every time something happened in the past, one person died and one disappeared. For example, the first one where the dam manager was killed, one of the people responsible for that hasn't been arrested. Couldn't just mean he got away, could it? I don't see why we should treat him as a sacrifice. Well, that's basically what I think, too. There was also the year that when the leader of the dam, with the leader of the dam proponents, He fell from a cliff and died, right? Apparently his wife fell as well. The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse. The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time. She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of a lake downstream. Something like that. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I heard about cases where the corpse would surface after the person drowned in a swelling river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection. If you took each past incident in turn, none of the disappearances will invoke a terrifying image. The year after that, with the priest falling ill and dying, it's much clearer. His wife left a suicide note, found it at her house the night the priest died, something along the lines of her quelling Oyashiro-sama's wrath through her death. The curse had seemed to turn up in this one, though. Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. Police investigated, but all they could find were several possessions. No corpse. Police suspected it was a fake suicide and they're still investigating it. Someone dies, someone goes missing. She's trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped to the bottom of the swamp, still alive, drowned to death. But a curse? Unbelievable in its own right. And next year, what was it, the damn proponent's sister-in-law? She was killed, and that same way someone disappeared. It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo, a nephew by marriage to the woman killed. She cut in with a slightly strong tone. She knew the boy who disappeared pretty well, at least that's what's the vibe I'm getting at. Oh, if you only know, Keiichi, if you only know. Well, that about sums everything up. One person dies, another person disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact that each incident involved a person disappearing. So, the first person who dies is because of Oyashiro's curse. And the second person who vanishes because the villagers sacrificed them. Is that it? Kei-chan, there's no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice. But Shion, that would mean a criminal would be in this village. That's what I've been guessing from the start. Pretty shocking though, you know? We live in the Showa period, 1980s. It's kind of hard to believe people are committing murder like that's nothing, using an ancient justification, huh? I didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and the epic tales that it has, so she had avoided talking about Oyashiro's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you look at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, she was different. She wasn't rejecting the concept, but rather, she strongly believed a member of this village was the criminal behind this serious curse. Her conviction was a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of this town. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling Shion was a completely different personality than Mion. Everyone else, they all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, huh? Neither Shion or Takano answered. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. Well, I'll ask something else. If someone from here is the culprit, who is it? Neither had a reply to that question either. Might have been rude to ask, but I hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason why I asked was to argue that their explanation to the culprit was from Hinamizawa, being nothing more than a possibility. Shion caught on my plan, gave the pained smile that at my petty spite, and opened her mouth. All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence. If any of us knew who it really was, they would have been arrested already. As would anybody. What about Takano? She smiled dryly as Shion had, and she spoke. Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is. Takano, you sure are a handful. Tomitake gave a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter. You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seems to have some pretty deep roots around here. She described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker. Her smile was sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend. Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all. I mean, the Watanagashi festival's coming out tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear. Right, that's tomorrow. Fuck, it slipped my mind. The string of murder incidents, all attributed to Oyashiro's son's curse, just wasn't over from the way it seems. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night, someone dies and someone will disappear. I don't know who will die and who will disappear, she said, running a comb through her hair with an elegant movement, a thin smile, and a voice that really made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the instances that could happen tomorrow. Out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be in the drinking party. I was making Mion wait this whole time. I should go back to her. You're teasing the kid too much, Takano. Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true. I apologize. If it's bad, it's a bad habit of mine, she said, sticking her tongue out bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found. When Takano seems an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at him. A real bad habit. You listened to everything so earnestly, she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano, Tommy seems like a totally normal person, with some common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they gave me. The stuff Takano just said is all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, we are sorry for that. Jeez, Jiro. You apologize too now. Tell him you're sorry. Now those two are arguing and messing around. The strained air around us dissipated. Keiichi, you should get going soon too. Mion is the jealous type. She sees me, she'll probably start a fight. I'll just be going home. Really? I'll go see what she's doing and apologize for making her wait, then. Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi. Could you tell Mion we're sorry for bothering you? I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but I'll try. Tomitake and Takano, standing next to each other, began to chuckle. Okay, again, then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival. We'll see each other. Yeah, it's us we're talking about, after all. We'll be making so much trouble, it'll be hard for you to not find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to the two. Before we could leave, Takano called out. Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I have to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you. Good at listening? That can't be good. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shock topics being thrown at me, one after another. Did you like my story today? I guess I could say it's pretty interesting. Then I'll tell you some more sometime. Okay? A lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about this place. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and I'll tell you all about them. Kind of happy, but kind of worried. I mean, I can't help but smile dryly and scratch my head. Keiichi, you can go now. Takano is just messing with you again. So they said goodbye and off they go. I heard Tomitake call out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at a festival. When I went to the tent, Mion was waiting for me. She was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long, she probably got mad and went home. After asking some adults, I heard she did. Talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Well, I regret for having Mion wait. It wasn't enough to triumph over the impression that Takano and Shio's uncanny story left me. Serial murder incidents happening 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow make the 5th? And the possibility that someone from here was carrying out all this under the guise of a curse. The strange tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we live in, well, the 1980s. I regretted it a little, and thought it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed after letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. From the scrapbooks and festivals around the corner, some tips. I guess we can view the new ones. Let's see if there's anything new. And we'll probably wrap this particular video. Oyashiro's Curse. In the ancient Onikavuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro, his curse, was feared by all above. However, it is seldomly stated anywhere what events happens, and what sort of divine judgment or curse befalls them when Oyashiro is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones invoke images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse or hell, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oyashiro's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in the Onikavuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, he will be termed angry. And in order to quell his anger, one would perform aforementioned sacrifice. Number 2. The human sacrifice ritual. It was simple drowning, involving plunging the sacrifices into the swamp, which was considered hallowed ground. Of the rituals of the village, this one was the unique, and the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oyashiro's anger. For the purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods of keeping a sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts were that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time in the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Number 3. Implements used for ritual. Ritual tools used for ancient religious ceremonies are common referred to as implements or ritual implements, and even now some of them are enshrined on the property of Furude Shrine in the 3 families. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been useful in rituals governing the dark side of the village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, they were lost as well, the tools, or perhaps they were buried in the darkness. I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist today, at this very moment, in Hinamizawa. Also, I am near certain where they have been enshrined. What was once looked steadily has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock. However, it's not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. I will not give up. The night where it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. It will be Watanagashi. And lastly, festival. Are you worn out already? Tomorrow's the real thing. We're going to be partying until morning, until the end of it. Got it? Got it. I'll give everything I've got. Alright, you this the greatest. Good work, everyone. Tomorrow is Watanagashi, our last. Let's get some shut-eye and save our energy, okay? Tomorrow is finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups, those who enjoy it and those who support it. The former only need to prepare their mind, but the latter needs not only that, but painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, we'll be strained the whole way through. Why? You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything's over is the best damn beer you'll ever have. We're boozing! At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best until the end, enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here. Oishi came in. Hello, everyone. Excellent work out there. You can be at ease. Thank you, sir. Not even my seniors who used to talk big about themselves can hold a candle to this guy. We all boast if we were the ones cheering squads of old. Harado Oishi, a detective just waiting to retire, one who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations, and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant of dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his young days, and I may or may not have been quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he sure had more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in. Everyone, I really will thank you for your hard work on the preparations for the festival. Everyone present stands upright and lend their ear to the chief's directions. We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all you to focus your energy as much as possible in your mission to prevent any crimes from happening. Yes, sir. Of course, it would be best if nothing happened. However, everyone, please assume that an incident will in fact occur. Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. This year, someone will die and someone will probably disappear. No doubt about it. And when Barton's section chief smiled, Oishi, that won't do. You need to be more serious about this. The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night. I won't tolerate any less than your best. Clench those cheeks.
We're gonna rip off all the skin off the ghost of Oyashiro's curse. Hurrah! Okay. Time to save this and to quickly resume it after a break. I think I strained myself a bit. I gotta deal with a lot of other shit, so I'm going to rest.